What's up, you guys? Welcome back. I am CA The Life, author of The Life. Hey, I'm back at you with another episode. This time, I got something else for you guys. We're going to do a whole series. I definitely recommend this book if you are trying to be more seductive and more persuasive and more influential in the dating realm. And this book is pretty big. It's almost like a Bible. It's called The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. And it's more than 300 pages, almost 400 pages. But I highly recommend it. It's a good read. It's a long read, but it's a good read. Today, in Robert Greene's The Art of Seduction, we're going to start in part one and go into the first part of part one on seductive characters. And today we're going to go over the seductive character of the Siren. Okay. And this is one of my favorite books that I read probably maybe every year or so. And my favorite quote from this book, it says, "Let us run the race that is before us and never give up." Let us run the race that is before us and never give up. That's my favorite quote from this book. Anyway, we're in part one, the seductive character. Can't see it, but anyway. And he starts us out with saying this. He says, "We all have the power of attraction, the ability to draw people in and hold them in our thrall. Yet all we need to do to realize our potential is understand what it is in a person's character that naturally excites people and develop these latent qualities within us." So he's saying that we all have the potential. We all have the potential to be seductive and charismatic, but some of us let that potential sleep, and it's never awakened. And all we need to do is pay attention to other people that are seductive and influential, and see what traits they have, and find out which one we identify with. Successful seductions begin with your character, your ability to radiate some quality that attracts people and stirs their emotions in a way that is beyond their control. Okay? And it says the chapters in this section will take you inside of each of these 9 types. So he talked about there are 9 seducer types in the world. And we're going to get ready and get started with number 1. And number 1 is the Siren. Only by stepping into one of them and letting it grow inside you can you begin to develop the seductive character that will bring you limitless power. Okay, and the first character is the Siren. It says, "A man is often secretly oppressed by the role he has to play, by always having to be responsible, in control, and rational. The Siren is the ultimate male fantasy figure because she offers a total release from the limitations of his life." So the Siren is a female character type, and she offers the man a total release from the limitations of his boring life. Okay, so she offers excitement. In her presence, which is always heightened and sexually charged, the male feels transported to a world of pure pleasure. She is dangerous, and in pursuing her energetically, the man can lose control over himself. So she makes a man get so caught up that he just loses control over his whole life. Something he yearns to do. The Siren is a mirage. She lures men by cultivating a particular appearance and manner. In a world where women are often too timid to project such an image, learn to take control of the male libido by embodying his fantasy. That's what the Siren does. She takes control of the male libido by embodying his fantasy. Okay, so she becomes that man's fantasy. This is the first seductive character type, the Siren. Here are some keys to this character type, the Siren. It says, the Siren is the most ancient seductress of them all. It is her nature to have a mythic quality about her. So if you ever met a lady that's like just seems kind of unreal, surreal, she just kind of seems goddess-like, that's the Siren type. She represents a powerful male fantasy of a highly sexual, supremely confident, alluring female offering endless pleasure and a bit of danger. So she's that lady that when looking at her, you see pleasure, but you also see just a hint of danger. Okay. For now more than ever, it says a man lives in a world that circumscribes his aggressive instincts by making everything safe and secure. So they're saying, like, nowadays there are no let's go hunt buffalo, hunter gatherer type um, traits, so it's more boring for the men. So these is saying that there's no warfare, there's no high seas, there's no political intrigue. So now a lot of men are bored. So what happens? They need excitement, and the siren offers that to them. Reading on further, it says, if it is seductive power you are after, the siren is most potent of all. If it's seductive power that you are after, the siren is most potent of all. She operates on a man's most basic emotions, and if she plays her role properly, she can transform a normally strong and responsible male into a childish slave. The siren operates well on the rigid masculine type. So you got your rigid masculine dudes. The siren is if he allows her, is going to turn him upside down. Okay. First and foremost, a siren must distinguish herself from other women. She is by nature a rare thing, mythic, only one to a group. She is also a valuable prize to be wrested away from other men. So the siren, this is the lady that in a group of 5 or 6 or 7 just stands out. All right, this is the lady that the men fight over. Okay, that's the siren. Will quickly differentiate you, since most women lack the confidence to project such an image. The ability to get the male to pursue her so feverishly that he loses control, and a touch of the dangerous. Danger is surprisingly seductive. So like I said, Robert Greene spells it out. He says that this lady is so mythic, so goddess-like, but she has a hint of danger. And that danger could be, so unreal and so strong that it just draws people in because they want to look over the cliff. They want to look over the cliff. It's so high. It's like the Grand Canyon that they know it's dangerous, but they want to look over the cliff anyway. The call of something dangerous, emotional, unknown is all the more powerful because it is so forbidden. So this siren, this lady becomes so unknown, so mythical, so dangerous that she's like forbidden, the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. Okay. The most important element for an aspiring siren is always the physical. The siren's main instrument of power, physical qualities. Physical qualities is the siren's main instrument of power. A scent, a heightened femininity evoked through makeup or through elaborate or seductive clothing. So it could be the perfume, it could be the clothing, how elaborate the clothing is, a little risque, things of this nature. The siren must stimulate a generalized desire. She must stimulate a generalized desire. And the best way to do this is by creating an overall impression that is both distracting and alluring. Now, have you ever been somewhere and you saw a lady that was distracting? She was distracting, but at the same time, she lured you in. That's the siren, you guys. Okay, and then Robert Greene goes on to say that there's a few different things that the siren, that makes a siren, or that all sirens will have in common. And number one, he mentions voice. It says, the siren's voice has an immediate animal presence with incredible suggestive power. An immediate animal presence with incredible suggestive power. So this voice is just makes people not be able to control themselves. You've heard that voice before that was kind of like you want to keep listening. That's the siren's voice. It goes on about body and adornment. It says, it is with her clothes that the siren aims to create the goddess effect. It is with her clothes that the siren aims to create the goddess effect. Okay, the clothing and the adornment. It says the key to the sirens. Okay, this seductive type, this lady, the key. Everything must dazzle. It has to be dazzling. Okay, but must also be harmonious so that no single ornament draws attention. So no one thing is going to draw all the attention. It's a whole. It's dazzling as a whole. Okay. It says she must be charged, larger than life, a fantasy come true. And I know we've all met someone in our lives that is like a fantasy that came true right before us. And that is dazzling. Then it goes on about movement and demeanor, a siren's movement and her demeanor. The siren moves gracefully and unhurriedly. Gracefully and unhurriedly. She's like walking on water, you guys. She's not in a rush. She's not in a hurry. The universe is flowing with her, right? The proper gestures, movement, and demeanor for a siren are like the proper voice. They hint at something exciting, stirring desire, without being obvious. Your air must be languorous, as if you had all the time in the world for love and pleasure. So nothing is hurried, nothing is obvious. It's all covert. That's the siren, you guys. And that's where she gets her power. And to end it, and he'll end all the different chapters this way, is he talks about a symbol. And the symbol for the siren is water. It says, the song of the siren is liquid and enticing. And the siren herself is fluid and ungraspable. Like you can't grab her. She's ungraspable and fluid. She just evolves and forms to whatever situation she's in. Like the sea, the siren lures you with the promise of infinite adventure and pleasure, right? Just like the sea, people want to go to the beach, people want to get on ships and tour the ocean. She invites you in. Forgetting past and future, men follow her far out to sea, where they drown. Woo! That siren is bad. Anyway, that's the first seductive type, you guys, the siren. I am CA to life. I hope you enjoyed this review of part 1, chapter 1, the siren, in Robert Greene's The Art of Seduction. I'll talk to you soon.